Hello everybody, this is June coming at you again. Okay, this is page 7 and 8 for Maths 1, 05A Maths 1. Okay, this got me the most confused. If you look at the example on page 7 and 8, okay, so, they ask us to, they asked us to determine the supply function, the demand function, the inverse supply function, inverse demand function, and to find the equilibrium. So, you know what? Before you worry about the functions and stuff, let's just draw the dang graph, okay? So, example 1.2, right? We have supply at 2p minus 3q equals 20, d equals 2p, okay? So if you're looking at the book, it's all there. So, let's get this puppy ready. Remember in the algebra, we did this with multiple equations, so we multiply by -1, then we get q equals 2, p equals 9, so it will be 2, 9 on the graph. Okay, I hope you guys remember all this from algebra. Okay, so if we graph this, this is what the graph would look like, right? 2, 9. Okay, oops. Okay, so let's say expressing S and D in Q. Okay, let's look at this, okay? They asked us to determine the supply function. Don't panic. It's just a fancy way of them saying express this in terms of Q. So that means, you see this Q here? We want Q by itself on one side of the equation. Okay, so remember the algebraic method for that? Da 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 da, subtract 2 from each side. Then we get minus 3q equals 12 minus 2p. Then we want q by itself, so we divide everything by -3 to make this a positive q, right? So we get 2/3 p equals, 2/3 p minus 4. Okay, so now, same thing. Let's look at D. Same concept. So we know that the supply set of Q, or the supply set, or supply demand, or supply function equals 2/3 p minus 4. So using the same algebraic method, we do the same for D, right? So, so the demand set of D is 20 minus 2p. Okay, so now the inverse. You know what? Don't let this intimidate you either. It's just their way of saying, in a fancy way, express in terms of p as opposed to q as we did earlier. So let's review. Q equals 2/3 minus p. So d expressed in q equals 20 minus 2p, right? So it's back to the original axiom. So we want to get p by itself, right? So in this case, we add 3 to each side. So we get this. 2p equals 12 plus 3q. We want p by itself, so let's do this. We get 6 plus 3 over 2 times q, right? Okay, so for D, it's the same concept. We want this Q by itself. So, I'm sorry, we want this P by itself. So it's 2P equals 20 minus Q, then divide by 2, so we get this P by itself. Divided by 2, this makes it 10, right? P equals 10 minus. You could either express this as 1/2 times Q or Q divided by 2. Me, I prefer to use the Q over 2 because I don't have to write that 1/2 Q. So I say pencil strokes, okay? Some people call me lazy, I call it efficient, okay? So 10 minus Q over 2, okay? I hope this was helpful. Um, if you have any questions, please feel free to leave a message or a comment. Thank you.